Hey friends, Tony from Subterra here. It's a beautiful December day in Tennessee. It's about a week before Christmas or so. It's in the high 30s, so it's a little bit chilly out. Been meaning to take you along. We're gonna harvest some Jerusalem artichokes coming up next. So what is a Jerusalem artichoke? A Jerusalem artichoke's a root crop. It's in the sunflower family. I'm standing in front of our stand here. They get about 8 feet tall or so during the growing season. Then they go ahead, and when they die back in the fall, you go ahead and you harvest the tuber. And the tuber is what you're gonna eat. They're high in iron and potassium. They're high in inulin and fiber. They've got some trace vitamins, vitamin B, a little bit of vitamin C. They're crunchy and delicious, so let's get right down to it. I'm going to bring you up and close. We're going to do a quick video. I'm going to put the camera basically in my hands work so you can see me digging, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So here we are. I'm sorry I'm out of camera, but we're positioned at the base of the Jerusalem artichokes where they're growing. We grow in wood chips. You can see how nice our soil is. This is about 4 years worth of covered wood chips covering the ground. There is a Jerusalem artichoke right here. We're going to come down to the base of the plant. We're just going to remove the plant, shake it up a bit, and you'll see we've got these beautiful Jerusalem artichokes are caught within the root system of the plant. So you want to go through the roots a little bit, and you'll see some tubers that are stuck in the mud there. Small ones. They come in all different sizes, large and small. They all taste about the same. However, there's a lot more work in cleaning and eating the small ones rather than the large ones. And a lot of times what they're doing now, the craze is use a mandolin on some of the bigger ones, shave them down, and then make root chips out of them. So we've gone ahead, we've pulled the plant out. Here's where the plant was, and there's another one right next to it. And you just start digging in the soil, in our case in the wood chips, and you can see that, you know, there is a fair amount of them, and they spread out. They send out little runners, and then you can find them even a foot away at times. There's a nice size one right there. All these little nodules is where they would sprout them from. And you just gotta, you know, I go on my hands and knees and do it. There's a nice size one. And just start going through the soil and picking them out. And then for planting them, it's essentially just as easy to plant them. Once I go ahead and clear the whole area here, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll seed some out and cover them up, and you're done. I mean, it's a super easy crop to grow. The flower stalks get about 8 feet tall or so. Let me reach over here and grab my bucket. And you can kind of see how they're stacking right up for me. It is a little bit labor intensive. You know, I'm on my hands and knees here. I don't want to use a fork. You could use a fork, but you're more likely to do more damage. Whereas if you've got nice soft soil here like we do, and you know, again, the soil is orange clay here. And if we get down to it, you can see how it's starting to transform the clay. This area has been covered now for, 6 years now. So it's really starting to percolate down the organic matter into the soil, into the existing clay surface. Pull out and then I'll go ahead and I'll compost these down. You just pull out the old flower stalks and search around. If you know, they'll grow at different levels within the soil. Sometimes you'll find them near the surface. Sometimes you find them further down. There's an itty bitty one. This area here, they start to creep. They're pretty aggressive, and they started to creep out this way. So I am wanting to remove these here, this first couple of rows from this area. Hence, this is where I've started to go ahead and start pulling them out. And you can see as we start going underneath that the root ball zone, they just keep coming and coming. And that's really about all there is to it. In this case, it's an order of 5 pounds that I'm going to go ahead and dig up. And then what I'll do is After I dig some up, then I will wash one off or two off, and I'll show you what they look like all cleaned up, and show you what they taste like. So in about 15 minutes time, you could see I got myself maybe about, I'm going to say that's probably about 3.5 pounds. And I harvested this area that may be 3 feet, roughly 4 feet by 3 feet or so. Okay, so we're back at it here, and as we take a little bit of a closer look, we can see all these little nodes here, which will get sprouts, and it can sprout from this end too. When you plant them, you just put them down horizontally. I've rinsed these off in the creek over here, and give you a little bit of an idea what it sounds like and looks like. Tastes kind of like a cross between, say, a potato and an apple. Not as starchy as a potato, not as sweet as an apple, but as it gets colder, if you wait until after the first couple of frosts, they sweeten up very nicely. They're very crunchy. You can see it's got that potatoy look. Excuse me for talking with my mouth full. It's got that potatoy look. Jerusalem artichokes. Easy to care for, easy to harvest. Plant a bunch of them. You'll have them through the winter. In the spring, once they start sprouting, they kind of get piffy, so you don't want to eat them then. Until then, give us a thumbs up. Like us if you haven't already. Subscribe. Most of all, come grow with us.